Good morning, all sirs. I am Jitendra Tamboli. I am heading the project control department of road and bridges business of Larsen and Toubro. With me, I have senior scheduler Mr. Sanjay Malpani, who is subject expert of Primavera. In the beginning, we would like to thank NHAI chairman and the August audience for giving us this opportunity to speak on a very pertinent topic of Primavera and use of Primavera in project management. I'll hand it over to Mr. Sanjay Malpani to take us through the presentation and the live demonstration of the project. Uh, Initially, we will take around 15 minutes to 20 minutes time on the presentation, followed by the live demonstration of a project. And I would welcome questions. I am sure that your questions will bring more richness to this interaction. So, Sanjay, please start.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for all for the being here to start the presentation. Before the start of the presentation, I would like to say these presentations is divided into two parts, as already Mr. Jitendra all told. The first part is the related to the theoretical part, and because the theory is the directly relations with the program and the requirement of the software to understand it, and then the further will be the second part will be the programming part. So first I will start with the presentation. So these are our table of content from the first with the introduction with the Primavera, advantage, work breakdown structure, key features, resource loading, cost loading, and earned value and hands-on training. In this sequence, we will move ahead with our training session. So the introduction of the Primavera, this is the best project management softwares available in the current stage of the market. Throughout the world, the Primavera is the one of the leading software for the project management, which is used for the all kind of the projects, including the infrastructure, oil and gas, power, and even in the manufacturing, IT, healthcare. So the all kind of the industries is Primavera is covering. And the XCR and the XML file of the extension is using for the Primavera to share the project and the availability of the extension studio. The available recent version is the 24.12, which is released in the January 2025. These are the main advantages of the Primavera to use it is the WBS structure based in the most of the programs to be divided in the structural based division, and we can assign the unlimited numbers of the baseline, and it can be used by the multiple users and the single time, and it's the integration capabilities with the other utility softwares like the BIM, SAP, BIM, BI, business intelligence for the Power BI, and the other risk related and the comparison with the baseline schedules. These are the main advantages to using the Primavera. The work breakdown structure. This is the most and the important part to start with the planning, to divide in a project into the manageable small parts. So these are the key features like the hierarchical structure, deliverable oriented, or the improve the efficiency. So the WBS have the three major advantage, and this could be three types of the WBS is used in the most of the industries. It could be further divided, but the majority is the phase wise and the deliverable wise or the hybrid mode. So I will continue in the next slide where we will these are the steps to be develop the work breakdown structure. First, to develop a work breakdown structure, we have to define the scope of the work, where what are the major deliverable. It should be phase wise or the based on the milestone, and further it should be divided in the small deliverables where it could be managed, and each deliverable is have the multiple work packages, and it could be further review and refined based on the requirement and the project to project. This is the standard kind of the one WBS I would like to show you. The one of the road project where this is the hybrid kind of the model where all the site investigation, design, execution, finishing work, testing and handing over, these are the phase wise of the work breakdown, and below that it is the deliverable based. So this is the hybrid mode we are using for the WBS breakdown structure. These are the key features which need to understand or before start of the hands-on training. The EPS, OBS, enterprise project structure, organization breakdown structure, WBS, calendar, activity type, duration, constant, sequencing, activity relationship, lag, float, like that. These are the major 17 which I highlighted. Apart from that, there are the other advanced might be also be available, but we will cover all these one by one. The EPS is the enterprise project structure. Is when we review the project at the corporate level. So we divide our project based on the facility wise or the zone wise. Same way is in the organization breakdown structure. And the CEO of the company, then the particular project head, and below that is the organization structure. So the both is the merged in the program in such a way we can identify what the responsibility of a particular person and what the particular responsibility of the particular zone of the organization or this vertical of the organization. So by this way we can identify it very clearly in the program. This is the standard kind of the WBS which we shown here. This is the how it will looks in the program. The calendar. This is the most important part to start before the programming. What kind of the calendar is to be used and where is to be used for the which kind of the activities. In most of projects we use the 4 types of the calendar. We have the 7-day working, 6-day working, 6-day working with the monsoon, and the 5-day working. In most of the organization with the public sectors have the 5-day working where we can submit only the documentation part for the 5-day working. So we use the 5-day working calendar only for the submission part of the employer or the organization which is working on the 5 days. But for all the construction activities we use the 6-day calendar and the 6-day monsoon calendar. Those are the construction activities. We use the 6-day monsoon calendar, and those are the office related work like the procurement work and the issuance of the design and other parts. So these activities taken care by the 6-day working calendar. And 7-day working calendar we use for the milestones and the where we don't have any holidays. To define in the calendar in the Primavera, there is two ways. Both are very important. You can see in the screen. Here we have first the calendar here, and these are the working hours for the particular day. It's based on how the shift is defined, and you can see in the dark gray area. Especially this is the monsoon calendar where we have reduced our productivity by the 50%. So the assumption in the start of the program that when the productivity will be reduced during the monsoon, we will provide the 50% of the working in the program. So it will give the more realistic and it's give the more better resource planning to in advance.
Sir, we can, it is customizable, not compulsorily 50%. Depending upon the location of site, we can increase it to 70%, 80% or reduce it to 0 also. So there is a flexibility in Primavera. Next.
Okay. The type of the activity. In the program, we have the 5 types of the activity, which are the majority is used as the task dependent activity, resource dependent, level of effort, start milestone and finish milestone. These are the activity where the start milestone and the finish milestone is for the project start, and the completion or the all the milestone in between we have it. But the all the activities, those are the dependent on the task, which is the time and the unit of in the resources is the using the task dependent, and the resource dependent where the activity is only dependent on the resource, particular kind of the resource which is used for the type of the activity. The program have the four kind of the durations, which define the how the programs will be calculate the duration and the units for the resources. If if we will fix the unit per time, then the resource productivity is the fixed. If we use the fixed duration and the unit per time, then in that case the duration and durations for the task and the productivity for the unit per time is fixed. In that case, only the changeable things is the unit. When we will fix the unit, then it will be unit per time will be changed. And when we will use the duration and the unit fixed, will changing in the productivity. In most of the cases, we use the fixed duration of the duration and unit, because the when we frame the time frame, so we cannot allow to change the duration of the project, because the project has the time. Time is the essence of the contract. So we are not allowed to change the duration. So we use the fixed duration and the fixed unit where we have the scope is defined.
So basically, sir, Primavera allows the flexibility to uh, handle the duration of any activity as well as the scope of that activity. So both are interlinked by defining the type of activity and the type of duration.
Okay. In for the all the activities, we have the 9 kind of the constraints which we can provide in the program, like the mandatory start, mandatory finish, start on or before, start on or after, finish, and like that. So these are the constraint which is the we can say the start date of the project, or the completion of the certain milestone in between. So we'll provide the some constraint in between.
Sir, this is basically the facility given to interlink the activities and their interdependencies. That if concrete has been poured, so before 14 days of curing, the other activity, the next activity should not start. So such things to comply, the program should comply such things even in the event if there is a delay, or even in the event when the progress is progressing well ahead of schedule, then also this 14-day period should not get changed. So, multiple types of constraints facility is there in Primavera. Depending upon our requirement, we can assign these constraints so that the basic philosophy of engineering is retained.
Now, once we'll do the activity and the task related items, we have to link with the sequencing. The sequencing is the majority will be types: the mandatory, discretionary, and the external. The mandatory dependency is the when the after the foundation, then the column will be going to start, or the plane going to start. These are the mandatory dependency which could not be changed. But the discretionary dependency is like we can start, we have the 10 number of foundation, we link after the first foundation to the second foundation, we can do the second foundation first or first foundation first. These are the discretionary dependency. It's based on the requirement, we can the change dependency. Then the external dependency is mostly we can use for the certain kind of the resources which is the coming from the some particular time or the particular agencies. Like when we are using in the corporate level, we have the suppose it we have the some certain kind of the TBM which we are using in the one of the project, and now this TBM is the dependency for the another project also. So once the A project will complete the use of the TBM, then the TBM will move to the another project. So this is the external dependency on the project. For the sequencing, I will explain it is in the program. Once we will have the link with all the activity based on their relationship, the program will follow the sequencing, which is the finish dates of the late finish date of the previous activity, predecessor activity. So here we have the two activity A and B, which is the A activity start on 3rd of May and finish on the 7th of May, and B start on the 5th of May but it's finish on the 12th of May. But the successor activity C, which is going to start, it could be start on the 7th, 8th of the May or the 13th of the May. It will follow the late completion date of all the predecessor activity. So the activity B finish on the 12th. So this activity C will start on the 13th. In the program, we can see there is the program will tell you which activity is driven to the here. It will show the driven click. So here for this activity, we have so many predecessor activity, but only this activity is driven to the procurement and the rebar insulation works. In the program, we have the four kind of the relationship, which allow us to schedule the relationship. The finish to start, start to start, finish to finish, and start to finish. The finish to start, once the one activity will finish, the other will be going to start. And similar way, start to start, once one activity will start, the other will be also start. And the finish to finish, once finish one activity, other will be also finished. But the start to finish is the relationship which is normally used for some kind of the procurement pre-working activities. But in the program, we usually avoid to use it because it's the hypothetical kind of the relationship. For the lag, it's provide the flexibility to give the duration in between to start the other activity. Like we can see in the first example, finish to start, where the pouring of the concrete is done. Once this activity is finished, we will wait for the 5 days to start build the wall. So these are the use of the lag, which could be provided in the negative. It will call as a leak in the program. Leak. This is the feature which we use to the calculation in the float. All the activity have the four kind of the dates: early start, early finish, late start, late finish. These dates are generated through the critical path method, which is the two kind with the forward path and the backward path, which we will cover in the later slides. But the use of this is given the flexibility. If suppose this is our program, and then A, B, C, D, E, F, G, E, F activities are in the critical path where all the float is 0, but the activity G and H have the float of the 5 days, 3 float, and the total float of the 8 days. For the H activity, we have the float of the 3 days in the free float and the total float. So these activities get delayed, G and H, up to the 8 days. The overall duration of the project will not going to change. In the program, we have the certain kind of the filters, which are some of the filters are the predefined filters, and we can use some customization based on the requirement.
So, sir, any typical project will have 10, 15, 20,000 of rows, depending upon the work breakdown structure and the activities which we have defined for the given scope. But 18,000 activities cannot be seen even on laptop or a big presenter screen. 18,000 activities, understanding the sequencing between them, making a logic out of it, and coming to some conclusive detail which we are looking for. So what Primavera gives is they provide certain filters and it also provides to allow grouping of certain activities to sort them, so that we can come to what we are looking for. So similar to our Microsoft Excel, where we have filter and we can filter down what we need to see, similar feature is available in Primavera to filter, to group certain type of activities, and to sort certain activities in the way we want. Like if we want to sort them, which are the activities coming in ascending order of duration, say the start times, or which are the activities which are ending at the last. So the based on their finishing dates, it can sort, filter. So these are certain views which are available in Primavera to make it more productive.
Similar way, we have the facility to group the activities based on the WBS category in the WBS, or the based on the variance, or the based on the start date. We can define it in the our options available in the group and sort. Then the scheduling. Here the main concept start of the data dates. What the use of the this scheduling purpose? We define the our start date, and the based on the start, once will our baseline will be freed, we start using the monitoring of the our program. So the concept will come as here is the data date. So in the it could be on a weekly basis, it could be on a fortnightly, or it could be on a monthly, and based on the your requirement.
So, sir, what essentially it does is that once our baseline program is ready and we are done with our schedule, at any given cutoff date, if we want to review the progress, that data date is nothing but that cutoff date. It is customizable depending upon our requirement, and up to that, what should have happened, and beyond that, what will happen is displayed.
These are some customizing features available in the program, like the unit, in the program, how we want to see the unit day wise or the month wise, we can have it. Similar with the date, we want to see DDMMYY in format, or in the DDMMMYY formats. So based on the customization of the requirement, or the similar way in the currency also it's available. Now it's the most important part is the critical path. How to define our program critical path, and how it's the program, how it will going to calculate the critical path. In most of the way, we consider if the total float is for a particular activity is 0, we consider is the critical path. But in the programs give us the flexibility. We can increase or decrease the float. It's not mandatory that it should be the 0. We can extend it up to the 10, 15 or 100, whatever is the requirement of the float. So based on that, it could be readjusted, but in the most general practice is the float 0 equals to the activities become the critical. I will have this one very small example for the how it's going to calculate, and it will help you to do visualize the critical path working. This is the very small program of the where we have the certain activities up to the E activities. Start date is the 0 date, we can say, and we can say the first of the month the project is going to start. So once these are the active in the A, B, C, D, E is the activity, and below that you can find is the 3, 5, 7, 2, 4 is the duration of the activities. Here the calculation is used by the two method, is forward path and the backward path, where the forward path is starting from the start date of the program, where we will calculate the early start and early finish of the activities. Like the A activity start on the 1st of the month and it will going to finish on the 3rd, and the same B activity start on the 1st and it's going to finish on the 5th. But when we come to the C activity, the program will decide which activities to be followed. So it will follow with the activity B because it's taking the more duration and for the completion. So the activity C will start on 6 to 12. Similar way, the activity D will start on 13 to 14. It's 2 days. And the activity E will start on the 6th because the driven activity is the B activity. And the overall duration of the project is the 14 days. Now this is the forward path. When we will calculate from the back side of the completion days, we will start using the backward path of the program. The 14 days is the overall completion, so we will go in the backward. For the D activity is 13 and 14 days, and the E activity will have the flexibility from the E. It can be start from the 11 and the 14. Similar way, the C activity is the 6 to 12, and B and A. So here it will show the early start date, early finish date, late start, late finish date. Based on that, we will calculate the total slot of the all the activities, and when we calculate the total slot, it will provide our critical path. So here all the 0 activities have the critical path, which is shown here. Now, after completion of the overall project, we have to set our baseline. The baseline is the mutually agreed within both the parties or all the stakeholders which are involved in that project. We will set the baseline to monitor or to measure our performance. Once we'll start the project, we will set our baseline, and every month or every weekly we'll start the progress tracking. It will give us the performance measure, is easily to communicate with everyone, and the focus on the priorities. Everybody can focus on what is the priority from their point of view. To set the baseline, once the project is done, as a completed agreed the timeline, we can have the two options here to save as a baseline. Once the baseline is saved, it will be saved in the maintain baseline here. And once we can assign the number of any number of the baseline we can assign here. And once it's all get maintained, we can assign in the project baseline primary, secondary, and tertiary baseline here. As we see in the scheduling, the cutoff date of the hour, it's the same way we start the updation of our program based on the data date of the cutoff date of the updates. These are what we discussed in the program, the previous theoretical part. We shown in here is what the items are there, like we discussed in the type of the activities. Every activity have the type of the activity, type of the duration, percentage completion type, what calendar is using, and once we'll start the updation here, so we can provide the status date here, when it's going to start and when it's started, what the percentage is already completed, and it will provide some brief budgeting non-labor units also here. And for the constraint, we can assign the constraint here we can assign 2 constraints in each of the activities. Similar way, every activity has the predecessor and successor. It will show which one is driven, what the lag, and what is the start date. Here it will be shown, and if this activity is the critical or not. So it will show that this is the critical, and it's driven also. In the resource loading, in the program we have the 3 kind of the resource availability, where the labor, non-labor, or material. The labor is for all kind of the manpower, including either it's the staff or the labor, those are working in the projects. And the non-labor is the equipment, and the material is what the material is going to use. So based on the labor and non-labor,
So, sir, these are the three types of resources available in Primavera. We don't have the flexibility, say, of labor is there, material is there, why equipment is not there. So that is why that third category is there, or named as non-labor. But it is essentially the equipment or any work which no is subcontracted or is done by some specialized agency.
In the program, once we'll how we'll define the resource, we'll create in the resource, and we'll provide here in the what kind of the resource is there, what the unit of measurement is there, and the what calendar is going to use, and the what the currency is going to use. Once it will be assigned to the all the activity, it will be show like the we can group it in the way we want to show, like the direct manpower, indirect what kind of the supervisor, mason, painter, and the in machineries we can identify the whatever is assigned in the our
So,
activity.
sir, all the resources which we define and then assign to various activities, we can go to the dashboard of resources itself and see month-wise what is the requirement as per the agreed baseline program, and that will give us a type resource type wise deployment schedule. So how the equipments will be deployed, how labors are needed, and in certain cases where agency or specialized agency or certain revenue expenses are there, that also we can apply, assign, and that will be shown in currency.
The cost loading, in the cost loading, uh, as the cost loading in the most of the program we can assign in the two kinds. One is the directly to the resource, and one is the expenses forms. In most of the projects where the employer is not bothered about the cost of the resources, he bothered about the invoicing, how much is invoicing is to be done based on the baseline program to generate the invoice projections or the cash flows.
So, sir, what he is saying is, suppose we as L&T are contracted to NHAI for a project, the program which we will submit to you for approval would have the invoice, projected invoice schedule from our side to you for the entire project. In Primavera universe, the invoice of contractor is called as cost because it is cost to employer. However, the expenses part can also be assigned and calculated, but that is to do more with the unit cost of contractor, not the cost to the authority. So these are two basic things. Usually the term used in Primavera is cost, but actually it means invoice, and we can develop S curve in Primavera based on our scheduling. And after loading the unit rates of say derived from, say, let us say payment schedule, if we assign that unit rates to various activities depending upon the payment criteria and the schedule of that activity, the Primavera software itself provides us month-wise invoicing value as well as the S curve.
This is the part of the best way to the monitor the project schedule and the cost. The method is called the earned value analysis. Here we have the planned value, which is the based on the baseline of the program, and the earned value. Once we will start updation of the project, how much is the work done, so it will generate the earned value for the projects. So these are the major two concepts where we use the planned value and earned value. The actual cost part, as we are not incorporating the cost for the resources, we not use the actual cost terms, but the programs provides the actual cost in terms of the percentage how much they consumed it. So
Basically, sir, earned value, I am sure all of you must know, will be knowing it. Earned value analysis is nothing but what was planned till a particular date vis-a-vis what actual progress has happened and what is the delta between them. If the delta is more than 1, the ratio is more than 1, the project is going ahead of schedule. If it is equal to 1, it is on schedule, and if it is less than 1, it is behind schedule. The part of actual cost is basically for the contractor side, where he is analyzing against the invoicing where my cost is standing, whether my cost is exceeding my invoice value or it is below my invoice value. So that part is for the cost. And again, the same thing can be seen whether the cost spend is more than planned or equal to plan or less than plan. So this is, I mean, it is a big subject, sir. We have just kept one slide because Primavera allows us it automatically generates earned value analysis. Once the program is prepared and monitored, we can go and check the earned value on that particular day.
In the to how to do this, the earned value analysis, first we have to create the baseline, then we start the progress tracking, then based on the variance analysis between the earned value and the planned value and the earned value and the actual values, it will be generate the CPI and the SPI. CPI is the cost performance index and the SPI is the schedule performance index. As in the previous slide, sir is explained about the it will show the is over budget, under budget, behind the schedule or the on schedules. So these analysis, the program itself is providing these kind of the details. These are the some settings available in the program where the customization of the ETC, the expected to complete cost, where we can project the balance expenditures and the in the programs. These are the small theoretical part which is the we covered it, and next we want to proceed for the
so sir, we are done with the theoretical part of Primavera. I understand that we could not cover much because of time paucity. We could have covered more, but if there are any questions up to now, sir, we can take them, or if you, with your permission, we can proceed to the demonstration of a live project. This project we are doing for PWD Assam. It is in the state of Assam, and it is a bridge over river Brahmaputra. Now the entire program is of around 17,000 lines. What we have done to make it more relevant and presentable, we have taken the first 5 to 7 kilometers of the project, wherein all features are available, like a 4-lane road construction. Then there are multiple culverts, underpasses, minor bridges. So it gives us a picture of how the overall thing looks. So sir, with your due permission, should we proceed?
Demonstration is start. Please start the demonstration, because
yes,
the question answer will take longer time, and we will take after the demonstration.
Yes, yes, sir. Definitely, sir. As so, sir,
Please.
this is the program. It is the baseline program for the project. And please start. उसको open कर दो.
As in the starting, we explained the how the program is to be built. First, we'll start the creation of the EPS, OBS, and then we'll assign the WBS. Once the project is prepared in the WBS form, we can see here in the WBS, where the all the level of the WBS is to be structured way we have to define based on the requirement. So the this will be informed us the how the our project is to be divided into work packages and the sub projects. So once it will be done, we will we have to include the add the activities in the all of the program, where we can add it by the just right click in the this plus sign here. Once we will click here, it will be add a new activity in the here. Once we'll add an activity, we can customize based on the requirement, like the what is the duration, or the what is the duration, what is the activity ID, and here we have the options. We have to define for all the activities what kind of this activity, duration type, percentage completion type, and the calendar. These are the major features which for all the activities we have to assign, and the by default is providing here based on the initial selection of the program, but it can be customized based on the requirement. Once all these activities to be assigned here right now, which we took the part of our project is around, we have the 3000 of the activities, and all the activities is inserted in the assigned WBS to the particular location. Then we will assign all the relationship to the activity, what is the predecessor of the activity, then what will be the successor. It will cover all the activities, and they're based on their relationship. Once we'll complete all the relationship, we will schedule the program by here we have the scheduling tab, which could be we have the shortcut for this one is the F9. Once the program is all the activities are linked in the proper way, where how we want to link it, we will schedule the project, and it will generate the based on the relationship. It will calculate the early start, early finish, late start, late finish, and it will calculate the total float, free float, and based on that it will generate the critical path. So now to demonstration, we can say we included in these 3000 activities in the advance in the based on the WBS which we defined it. And once we will schedule this project, it will give you the start date and finish date. These start date and finish date is always be shown here is the early start date or early finish date. We can see here in the late start, late finish, and the total float also. And once this scheduling is done, we have the filter here which we used here. We have the critical. So once we will click and apply this one, it will show us what are the activities are the critical in our project, and in the Gantt chart it will be easily displayed in the red color. This is the feature where we can customize our timeline. We can show the year, month, quarter, month. Based on that our requirement we can show. If the program is too big, we used to be the quarter wise. So here all the red color activities is shown here is in the critical path. So these are the priority activities which we need to focus in the start of the baseline. But the critical path can be shifted based on the updates and the development of the project. If we actively working on the critical path, then might be the critical path could be become secondary path, and the another critical path could be generated. So this will be the continuous process. So the monitoring of the critical path is so important that every time when we are updating the progress, and we have to look it to the critical path and the focus based on the priority of the critical path activities. Once this part is done, we will assign these activities as in a timeline. To set the baseline, first we'll go to the maintain baseline in the projects. In the maintain baseline, we'll maintain. We are storing the whatever the data we designed it now. We stored in the base in form of the baseline. So we will maintain the baseline. Here the two options are available: save the current program or the convert any other program. If sometime the program is missed, so we can import the another exported file And we right now, like we will I will save here is the new baseline, save as the same copy of the program. So once we will click here, it will save the or whatever the information which we give it to the program. So now this is the baseline one is generated, which is the agreed from the all the stakeholders. Once this is done, step is done, we will have the options to assign it, because the in the program we have the options to provide the 3 baseline at a time to show in the Gantt chart or the in the our layout. So first we will assign the baseline here, whatever we saw here, availability. Now we assign the baseline here, so the now we can shift the data date from the start date to the our cutoff date. Like usually we keep the weekly or monthly. So we'll we'll go again back to the schedule option, and we'll select based on the our cutoff date of the program. Like we have the 31st of July, and we'll select here, and then we will schedule. So what program will generate based on the updates given? It will generate the all the variants, what are the activities planned to start but it is not started, or during the update it's get delayed. So the program will automatically shift their start date from the data dates. So the when we plan from the project start date, now once all the dates will be shifted based on the our cutoff dates. So this will regenerate the all the start date and the finish date of the program, and based on that we will identify the delay of the activities. So now you can see here the project start on the 7th of June and completion of the 6th of June. Once I shifted my data date from the 7 June to the 31st of the July. It shifted the 31st of July is the start date, because the nothing was updated in the program. Apart from that, there is a one auto updates method is also available, where if once the baseline is completed, if we feel that the project is working based on our baseline, we have option in the tool here, update projects. So once we will select this date, it will highlight and the update automatically to the like if I will shift from the 31st July to the 31st of August, it will highlight those activities and apply actuals. So once it will be done, all the activity in between when we'll plan it, it will automatically shown as an updates. So these are the auto updates format which we usually in the construction we not using this one, but just to generate it the report I shown this to the man. Now you can see A is here. A is depicted here is the actualize. Actual means that the date is actualized in these dates.
So sir, basically we can physically, after saving the baseline and depending upon our cutoff date, we can go to each activity and update its progress on the day of review. However, if we feel that everything has progressed the way we want or we planned, we can auto update it, and that we can see in the Gantt chart also that the part till our cutoff date has now turned blue, balance is still green. The program is understanding that what was supposed to happen during this period has actually happened. Hence, the word actualize comes in and is depicted by a symbol A in the start and finish column.
Now once we'll update here, now the next part I will move to the resource, where we have to define the resources and the assign the resources. So here in the enterprise we have the resource tab, where it will be open in this way, and we have in the program, in any program all the resources will be displayed whatever the programs is installed here. But if we want to see the related to the particular project, we have to select the filter by the current projects. So it will show us the what are the resources is assigned to the our project. Like we have assigned the project manager, quantity surveyor. These are the
Go to material.
And when we'll go to the material part,
Non-labor and material like DBM, expansion joint, embankment material.
DBM, expansion joint, embankment, excavation, and the fabrication, eye girders, as in the numbers we assigned it to identify.
Machine also. Machine under non-labor.
Machine which are considered in the non-labor units. Once this part is done, to identify what kind of the resources to be done, used in the program or the project, we have to go assign the project resources. So once we will click on the assign, it will show here in the whatever the resources we assign to the project, it will show these are the resources assigned, and the month wise or the day wise, the way we want to use it, it will generate the data the given. Like here we have the 308 numbers of the eye girder to be casted, and when is their requirement for the erection. So we can generate it in the program. Then we can identify is there any shortage of the eye girder before the erection. So these kind of the working could be done in the.
So sir, basically what activities we are going to do as per our schedule, what we have finalized, and once we have assigned the resources, it will give us month-wise requirement of those resources, and it will also give the volume of those resources. So when concrete is needed, in which month how much concrete is needed, which month how much reinforcement is needed. Similarly, we can do for man, we can do for machine, and material is being shown here.
As in the initial discussion we highlighted, there we can assign the costing part also, where we can be assigned in the particular resources. We can assign the pricing and unit, and this pricing could be based on the time also can be defined, and based on the if suppose it the first year of the project the cost is in the particular 1000 rupees per cubic meter, but in the next year it could be the 1010. So we can define based on the time based cost here also. So once these things will be assigned, and we can generate our labor chart and the histograms, everything is from here. And the third point comes in the expenses, where we assign the invoicing values in the program. In the projects we have the expenses tab. Here we have defined the all the cost here based on the
Activity पे देख लो.
in the each activity we have assigned the certain kind of the expenses here.
go to some.
Like here we assigned here for the all the piles what is the cost as per the our working. So the here we have assigned the particular pile wise the cost and what is the expense ID. We keep it the expense ID in terms of the we can refer from the our BOQ or the internal development. So we can once the updation is to be done, we can identify it from the program what the actualized invoices to be done and what is in the program it's showing. So we can know the variance, which items is hold for the payment and the what is the reason behind of the difference between the earned values and the actual invoicing. These are the major part of the program where we have to timeline resources and the expenses. Apart from that, we have the certain features available in the program, which I will give you the some small brief is here, which will be very useful while working in the program. The as I already shown the updates, auto updates here. The other most important is the schedule comparison format, which will be shown in the here what the program is to be compared based on the program. Here we can show the we can compare the two program. Here I have the updates of the program here and the what is the original projects which I want to compare from the our baseline. I can select here both and then here we have the once we will select both we will add them and after that we have the options to how we want the output in the HTML or CSV file and here is the what the things the program will compare. It will be the all the project information, the cost, duration, whatever we wanted, but all the things is not required at the same time, so we can limited the our comparison based on the requirement. So once it will be done, once it will be drawn here, it will program will compare both the part side on side and it will highlight where is the difference is there. The program will take slightly time to process the data. So if we will select the all the required items here, so it will show the like the WBS wise what the old WBS, new WBS, then the based on the start date of the activity is changed, so it will be compare all the items. So once we will select all the items, it will be so big report. So even we prefer to have the limited numbers of the each time to identify particularly.
So what we can do here, sir, is if after we have saved our project's baseline and if we have updated our project based on the actual progress achieved at site, the Primavera provides a feature to compare the baseline with the new program or the new schedule based on the actual update, and depending upon our criteria of comparison, it will throw up the data that what should have been done, what has happened, in terms of all the things, all the parameters which we have selected. It can be time, it can be quantity, it can be resource, it can be schedule or cost, and it can be the start date, it can be the finish date. It can also show up what was earlier critical, now what is new critical. So a ready to use comparison is available, sir. And suppose we have saved our baseline, say at the beginning of the project, and later on after 6 months suppose we have updated it, and now after another 6 months we want to again compare it. So we can select the baseline with the new update, or we can compare previous update with this update to see what happened during this window of time, so that window analysis or the extension of time cases which we go through, if so this is how we select and define the window within which what variances have happened, in which activities has happened, and how it is overall impacting our project completion schedule. So that utility is inbuilt. Since the programs usually run in 13, 14, 15, 16,000 lines, it becomes cumbersome. But program per se is having the facility to develop and generate and provide it to us. And once it is generated, it can be downloaded, and then we can apply our filters, we can choose our activities, we can look for locations where the deviations have happened, and basis that we can arrive at the impact as well as the actions which are needed to bring back the project back on time. So, sir, with this we have come to conclusion of the live demo, and we would be happy to take calls or questions, sir.